Ramyun, a major shyster. Ramayallah, which they're watching. Them guys are the guys that's talking shit. Yep. You know? The Most High gonna destroy all you niggas, man.
Shekiah.
Shekiah, yep. Well, Shekiah was cool.
Yeah, he was.
He was cool when he but he fell off. But he was kind of honest, you know.
Yeah, he was straightforward.
But the rest of them niggas are shysters, man. Shysters.
I got a quick precept. Oh, matter of fact, before I read this precept, the Apostle Rakah just read in that scripture, it spoke about their foolish hearts being darkened. So I looked up the word foolish, and it comes from the Greek word asunetos, and it means unintelligent, without understanding, stupid. You know, so they already didn't have, the intelligence to break the scriptures down, but then that foolishness that they had was darkened. Yeah. You know, that's why this is Ecclesiastes 10 and 13. It says, the beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness, and the end of his talk is mischievous madness. And that's basically what that the 666 men that rule the earth is a breakdown for Revelation 13 is. It's mischievous madness. You know? So that's all I want to say.
Oh,
yeah, and I got a scripture too right here. And this is to back up what the apostle said about Ariah, that we were taught by Ariah and then other men that came up under Ariah, like Yeshaya, Lahab, Shaw, and them. When we learned from them, they were in turn taught by Ariah. And Marshall was the leader, you know. He wasn't really all that deep in the scriptures, but he knew scriptures, and Yaquab knew a lot of scriptures, but those breakdowns came from Ariah, right? But he didn't, through the years, we went through the scriptures and found out that Ariah went off on certain things, and then there's other things that were added, given to us in the spirit, that Ariah didn't know at that time, like, for example, the unicorn horn, all right? That the Urim and the Thummim, the internet or your tablets or your laptops or your desktop PCs, computers, Apple computers, that's nothing but ancient technology, which is the technology of the Urim and the Thummim. And the Spirit, got on me to, break and to see that, okay, and link them two together. So this technology that we have, these tablets and these smartphones, they ain't nothing but the technology of the Urim and the Thummim. That's all. Okay? Now, like I said, like the apostles said, that Ariah didn't receive all of it, that the Most High gives it to men in due time. So the Most High chose to give us the rest of this at due time, although we learned in the beginning from him and Marshall and Yaquab, all right, and the other men. This is Isaiah 34 and 16 and 17. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. The book of the Lord is not the Kibra Negas. It's not the coffin text. It's not the epic of Gilgamesh. It's not the Enuma Elish. It's not the, give me some more names. The Metu Neter, the Egyptian book of the dead, so forth. Or any other book, the hieroglyphs, all right? It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail. The no one of these that shall not fail are the prophecies, all right? That's why when we're going back and forth with them guys in the so-called black consciousness community, which I call black unconsciousness, is when they go into their books and they compare the books to the scriptures, they say that, oh, we got that from the scriptures. Well, wait a minute. When it comes, the scriptures have what's called prophecies. There's no prophecies in your book. Shaka, he said, no, there's a prophecy. The Egyptians prophesied there's going to be millions of stars in the heaven. That's not no fucking prophecy, man. There was stars back then. It tells you in the book of Genesis that the Most High, the angels, the Allahayim made the stars, man. The hell are you talking about? It says, none of, I'll read again. Seek ye out of the book of Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. In other words, you can't match this book with any other book. All right? For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them books together, all right? And there's other books, and you have the book of Nathan the prophet. He had a book. You had a book of Ehud. You had a couple of prophets mentioned in the Bible that have their own books, but those books are not in the Bible because the Most High didn't give us everything, man. We'll get them books in the kingdom. So there's many books. It tells you that. You know what I want in 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter? Glass darkly. 17 verse. Isaiah 34:17. And he hath cast the lot of them. When you look up the word lot, matter of fact, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look it up.
Apostle Tahar, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai gave us what we needed. As far as, like what you said, the books, like there are certain books of the Bible that were left out, but the Lord gave us what we needed. What we have is sufficient enough.
Yeah, they're record books, Chronicles. Yeah. That's why you have a book called the Book of the Chronicles. The first Chronicles and second Chronicles, which is, Chronicles is a Greek word meaning time. It was a record. Anyway, the word Gawaral is for the word that I just read. Which is Lot. Garawal, which means Lot, pebbles used for systematically making decisions, portion, lot, portion, thing assigned by casting lots, recompense, retribution. So the word is portion, pebbles used for systematically making decisions, portion. In other words, when you play dice, CeeLo, you would bet on a certain number to come up, and your number's going to come up eventually. If it don't come up that time, it'll come up maybe the third time or the seventh time. So it's about you knowing, not knowing, but it's a game of luck. You throw the money down on Snake Eyes or 1-5 or 6-4. And you might get paid for the 6 but not the 4 because it fell on 3 or 1 or Snake Eyes. Okay? So that's what it is. It's like a game of chance. So, but that goes back to casting a lot. In other words, if you needed an answer from the Most High, you leave it up to the Most High. You cast lots, which, by the way, Nate the Magnificent said that casting a lot is wicked. And I said it at the council about the Cornelius thing. I said, well, let's cast a lot, which he said that Cornelius is an Edomite. So when I said, well, let's cast a lot, he said, no, Tahar, because that's wicked. That's what that nigga said. We were all there to see. All these men in the studio, except -1, was there to even witness it, man. So going back, 17 verse, and he hath cast the lot for them. In other words, the Most High gave some to Obadiah. The Most High gave some to Isaiah, meaning prophecies, writings. The Most High, Kathabium. The Most High gave some to Jeremiah. The Most High gave some to David. The Most High gave some to Solomon the preacher. The Most High gave some to Micah. I mentioned Obadiah. All right. The Most High gave some to Habakkuk. Some got more prophecies, a portion than others. Jeremiah got a big portion. Isaiah got a big portion. The scholars refer to Ezekiel got a big portion. Obadiah only had one portion, one book. Joel, what? He had 3 portions, 3 books. So that's what that's talking about. I'm going to read it again. It says, and he hath cast a lot for them, the men of the Lord, the prophets, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever. Well, we have it. We back here. The prophets that wrote the books are back here right now. Don't ask me who I am. It says they shall possess it forever. We have it right now. We have these books right now. From generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Meaning, wherever we went in our different reincarnated states, we were fulfilling prophecy.
That's right. That's right. And this is the book of 1 John chapter 2, verse 23. To further go into it, because